True peace. Ken's U.S.-Russian president meets for historic summit in Geneva. Man, peep the slang. Amid tensions, Joe Biden and Vladimir Putin begin first person-to-person meeting since Biden took office this January. Man, peep the slang. With the world watching, U.S. President Joe Biden and his Russian counterpart Vladimir Putin in Geneva on Wednesday today have started their first face-to-face talks since Biden took office this January. Putin arrived by plane from Moscow about an hour before the scheduled start of the talks, which are taking place in the 18th century villa amid tensions between the two world powers. The two leaders, who brought along their respective foreign ministers and secretary of state, are not expected to share a meal or hold a joint press conference after the talks in the Swiss city. Security was tight in Switzerland, second largest city, which is encircled by the Alps and Jura Mountains and hosts the UN European headquarters, along with several UN agencies such as the World Health Organization and the World Trade Organization. The talks are expected to focus on matters such as arms control, cybersecurity, U.S. concerns over Russia's treatment of political opponents, and election interference, and the situation in Ukraine, where Russian-backed forces are fighting in the country's east. Man, Peter Slang Putin met Swiss President Guy Parliament shortly before the talks. After arriving in the famously neutral country on Tuesday, Biden had a 30-minute meeting on bilateral issues such as Swiss handling of U.S. diplomatic relations with Iran. Swiss newspaper played up the meeting with the French language, Le Temps headlining the day when the eyes of the entire world are on Geneva. The Tribune de Geneva trumpet Joe Biden makes Geneva the center of the world. Man, peep the slang. Sign of hope. The talks are a sign of hope, said the Swiss president after meeting Biden, telling journalists that constructive dialogue is needed between great powers to meet their present global challenges. Switzerland is convinced that a constructive dialogue is necessary between the great powers so that we can meet the challenges of our time, said Parliament after meeting Biden, describing his talks with Biden as warm. Just before starting their talks, Biden and Putin spoke briefly in front of 18 press members and cameras. Mr. President, I'd like to thank you for your initiative to meet in person. Putin told Biden, I know you had a long trip. You worked hard. He added, nevertheless, there are many issues in Russian-American relations that need to be discussed at the highest level. I hope our meeting will be productive. Biden, for his part, said that it's always better to meet face to face. The Villa La Grange site at the middle of a park where the talks are being held 36 years earlier witnessed another historic meeting when late U.S. President Ronald Reagan met with Mikhail Gorbachev, leader of the former Soviet Union. Okay, 30 years before that, in 1955, Geneva hosted a historic meeting between the so-called Big Four, when the first time since 1945, the victors of World War II, the U.S., the USSR, France, and Great Britain agreed to meet in Geneva under UN auspices to discuss key issues of peace and security. And peace, peep the slang.